Considering this topic and seeing the audience today mainly comprised of people working and living in regional Australia, often in the private sector, I thought, why should people in regional Australia, businesses in regional Australia, partner with universities? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk briefly about why you should partner with universities, but also talk a little bit about the enterprise for which I currently work, the University of South Australia Business School, and some of its particular strengths. On the first question, why partner with universities? I think it really comes down to three key things. The first one is scale. The second one is shared values. And the third one is their role as a portal to global knowledge. Scale is an important feature of contemporary Australian universities. As my introduction noted, my first degree is a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Adelaide. When I finished my degree at the University of Adelaide in 1984, the university had 7,000 students. Today, the University of South Australia Business School has 7,000 students. The University of South Australia has 32,000 students, thereabouts, 20% of whom are overseas-based students or come from overseas. And we are small relative to RMIT at somewhere between 68,000 and 72,000 students. We are large enterprises. The University of South Australia has a turnover of about $600 million a year. I believe the University of Adelaide is about $1 billion per year. So we are large organisations, and when you partner with us, it means we're rich in resources and experience that we can bring to bear to the issues that confront you. And one of the impediments to regional growth in South Australia is access to resources and capital to make things happen. The second point I'd make is about shared values. We share your value as a sector. While 20% of our students are overseas or come from other parts of Australia, 80% of our students come from South Australia. So if South Australia grows, and I mean every part of South Australia grows, we do well. So as universities, we have a shared and common interest in seeing the growth of regional South Australia, as you will see in the number of investments made by the three major institutions outside of our capitals. So we currently have a presence in Whyalla, Mount Gambier, and we're looking to expand. I know Flinders University, where I previously worked, has a significant presence in the Riverland, and the University of Adelaide has long had an engagement in Port Augusta and in Roseworthy, etc. My third point is about global knowledge. Universities are in the business of creating and sharing knowledge. The dissemination and creation of knowledge is our business. And we live in a global knowledge economy where that is the most important asset, where the human capital we create, where the knowledge we share is actually the driver of economic growth. Even if we look at an industry very close to this industry, such as the wine industry, it's the knowledge of new varieties, new clones, new styles of wine that drives the ongoing competitiveness and innovation in the Australian wine industry. And if anyone drinks wine, and I confess I do, you'd appreciate the benefit of that work. So, universities provide a portal to knowledge, and I think there are three very convincing reasons why we should have partnerships in growing numbers between universities and regional businesses and regional communities. I want to turn very briefly to talk about the business school at the University of South Australia. As I said before, we have roughly 7,000 students. We have the best employment outcomes of any business school in South Australia, and we have world-leading research in a number of fields. One of the problems confronting regional businesses is in fact having sufficient demand. As I drove up last night, I saw the buses and cars coming down from the gourmet weekend, and I thought, customer, 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 customer. Fantastic work, the people in the Clare and Gilbert Valley. Well done, the RDA. At UniSA, we have the Ehrenberg Bass Institute, the world's largest concentration of marketing researchers, with a corporate sponsorship program that involves customers including names such as Procter & Gamble, Unilever, Mars and Anheuser-Busch. We work with significant global partners, and these are long-standing relationships that now see us create pop-up offices in places such as London, New York, Shanghai and Battle Creek, which is where Kellogg's are based, I believe. We have significant global relationships, and many of our graduates are targeted by global corporations to be their brand managers into the future. But we're keen to do more work in South Australia. We're keen to see our relationships locally grow. We already have some significant relationships with the Wolf Blass Foundation providing scholarships in wine marketing innovation to undergraduate students. And I can share with you that at the beginning of this year, one student from Port Augusta was a recipient of that scholarship valued at $5,000 a year for each of 3 years, helping further their career and leading towards a global pathway. We also have the Centre for Tourism Leisure Management, which focuses on events, regional arts development and a whole host of other things. And in fact, the tourism industry is one of the growth stories and success stories, as we all know, here in South Australia, with a target of an $8 billion turnover, well within sight now thanks to the investments of both regional partners and the state government. 60% of that business, of course, is outside Adelaide. One of the issues small businesses confront is how to become competitive in a world of ongoing change. How do businesses and managements keep pace with innovation? Our Centre for Business Growth is focused on business improvement, and it's run by Dr. Jana Matthews and supported by both the ANZ Bank and the South Australian Government. It works on improving business processes, including issues of sustainability, governance improvement, succession planning for small business, financing and business improvement generally in terms of capital flow, etc. Now, critically, it's not a free program because firms only value what they pay for, but it is heavily subsidised. And I'm pleased to say that a significant number of places are targeted for regional businesses, and we'd love to see you reach out to us and join the Centre for Business Growth and its program as it looks to grow. It also is growing in itself, looking to move into Western Australia and Queensland, such as its success and reputation. Finally, I'd point to the Innovation and Collaboration Centre, which is a place that looks to foster startups. Now, it's not for every business and it's not for every graduate, but it does represent an opportunity to see businesses grow and innovation to take root in South Australia. Now, some of their innovations are really quite urban in their focus. So one of the innovations they've been supporting is around very small jet engines to provide power under certain circumstances. But other innovations directly relate to the strengths of regional South Australia. One of the companies fostered under that program is looking to develop a new closure for wine so that once it's opened, it can retain its freshness. These clearly are important initiatives. So I hope I've convinced you. We have a lot to offer, and I know you do too. Thank you very much.